Right everyone, and welcome back to Season 16 of Apex Online Racing F2 on Xbox One. And we're here today for the second round of the season, the Bahrain Grand Prix. And yep, here we are on our best qualifying lap then, on the soft tyres at the end, having not done a lap yet. And yep, coming off the back then of what was a 4th place in Australia, but as I mentioned at the end of that video, there was a good chance we were going to get disqualified for rejoining after leaving the session earlier in the qualifying, and that was indeed the case unfortunately, but that rule has now been changed because it was clear that there was no issues caused by it, and it really isn't like fair in like the current state of the game for that to be, you know, such a harsh penalty. So that is really quite frustrating really, that race was all for nothing. But good news is it won't happen again, and it is actually very good news because wheel just didn't want to work at the start of qualifying for some reason. Like my pedals just didn't work, I should say. Then I plugged the wheel, well, unplugged it and then plugged it back in, and then I had no force feedback whatsoever, so I had to like completely just hard reset Xbox and wheel, and well, luckily it worked after that. But I mean, it still didn't like feel right, I thought. I don't know if it was just because, you know, I never really had like the chance to do like some laps to build up to this point, because I would have gone out on super soft tyres and set some sector times and then come back in and then just gone for this one lap on the softs. But yeah, I didn't get to do any of that, and that really, I felt, sort of hurt my sort of preparation, I guess, for this one run. But nonetheless, I don't think we would have qualified much higher anyway. I think we did like a 27-1 in the evaluation race, so we would have been a few places higher. But yeah, LGS then, the only person who qualified on the super soft tyres then, so we'll see what he can do then. And we don't have to worry about, you know, our strategies crossing over, which is a good thing at least. And yeah, we'll have to see what we can do for the 17th on the grid, as it's now time for the race. So here we are then for race day in Bahrain, and well, I should say race night really, because yeah, once again then under the floodlights here at the Sakir circuit. And yeah, as you would expect really, it's going to be most likely a dry race, and yeah, temperatures all looking pretty good there, and it is looking like a clear night here then in Bahrain, as yeah, this is now the 26th time then we've raced in Bahrain, and the 16th time that has taken place at night. We have had one previous win here in the past, that was in former Xbox in Season 8, so quite recently actually on F1 2017, but it's actually our worst track in fact in terms of podiums. Only 8% of races we finished on the podium, so only like 2 out of the 25, and yeah, only Paul Ricard, which we haven't even raced at yet, is like the one that we have less at. So yeah, obviously we couldn't have had like more podiums there. But nonetheless, then we're gonna have a look at the track now then. 15 corners, 5.4 kilometers, and 2 DRS zones. Usually see quite a lot of racing here then, quite a lot of on-track action, some good overtaking opportunities in some of those heavy braking zones. And yeah, into turn 1 then last season on TOR left ped we managed to make a move into the first corner. I expect we'll be seeing a lot of action there then today. And into turn 3 then we overtook both Luciv Kev and Bapagu in Apollo Season 2 to gain a couple of places there. And all the way back here then in TGP Season 4, 3 wide almost into 10-11, and it was Hickey right outside who overtook both me and Arte there. And yeah, imagine we've seen quite a lot of overtaking then into those 3 places as strategy for us then, having qualified on the soft tyres, but outside the top 10 anyway. It's going to be a one stop then from soft to medium, and that should get us to the end. I imagine LGS will have to do a 2-stop out front, but I imagine for everyone else it will be a 1-stop, and we'll have to see then, will some people start on the mediums maybe if they're outside the top 10? I'd imagine so, maybe a couple of people will try it, but for us that was just what we're going to go with, the soft tyres. And here we are then on the formation lap. Now you'll notice here that I turn the ERS down to nothing just to make sure I didn't use anything up, which I think is quite pointless anyway, because I think you can save up by the time you get to the grid. And I was a bit stupid here and I forgot to change it back before we go onto the grid, so that was quite stupid of me. And what was even more stupid is that I didn't even realise until about halfway around the lap. So yeah, that was a really good job of me there, just completely forgot to, you know, deploy any ERS for the first half of this opening lap. So we'll see how it goes in anyway, with literally no extra deployment. But nonetheless then, we're on the grid in 17th place, lights coming on now. And away we go in Bahrain, and it is, having said that, a pretty good start, although I guess the ERS didn't really kick in until later, and yeah, now you can sort of see that we were struggling a little bit there, but nonetheless, and on the brakes running outside, we'll see what we can do. And in fact, we do actually gain a couple of places here, then passing both KJ and Welty, I think. And then we've got Hayden quite a bit out of shape in turn 3 there, or turn 3 I guess it is. And up towards turn 4 now, then running outside, and couldn't do anything there. But yeah, we're just too far back, and now we've got Welty quite close to us then. And yeah, still no deployment from us there, and that's going to allow Welty to get a much better run then, as it's all bunching up then into turn 8 here then. But yeah, it looks like Welty's got a place then, and it looks like X Power is to the next person who may try and pass us then. As we thought about having a look there into turns 9 and 10, but it's really quite hard to overtake there. So yeah, well, obviously we don't want to like risk damage on the first lap. And now we finally realise that we don't have any ERS deploying, so yeah, we finally turn that up then, and maybe we can actually, you know, try and make some overtakes now. As yeah, we're still in 15th place and on lap 3, just behind LCR Hayden then, as through this low S section, and we've got X Power up behind us then, and he's actually going to go have a look for into turn 8, pushes us out wide, and yeah, through he goes then. So it just seems that in both races so far it's just been constantly banging wheels for people, as we've ended up on the outside, but nonetheless he's through them into 15th position, and we're going to skip now into the end of that lap actually, and he's a little bit wide there into the final corner, so we do have a good chance now to gain back this position, as we're going to go into overtake then. Still quite a bit of battery charge, and with DRS now available we should have a pretty good chance of getting this move done into the first corner then. Running inside, we do break a little bit earlier there, but still we do have some good momentum, so we're still side by side, and round the outside turn, so we managed to just about make it stick. But he is going to come back at us then, and in fact Franglish has got a great run on the pair of us then. It's going to be nearly 3 wide as it. We're going to break as late as we can here then to avoid getting sandwiched, and well, we run wide, and Franglish is going to have the pair of us then, and through he goes into a 15th position, and yeah, through he goes then, and we're going to look then into turn 8, but we were nowhere near close enough there to try and have a lunge, so there's no point going for that. On to end of lap 5 now then, and LGS is now pitted then for the first time, and yeah, as I was saying, he'll be the only person I'd imagine going for the 2-stop, but we'll see how it works out for him then, as he's on a very different strategy to everyone else. It could work out for him then if everyone else is sort of battling with each other on those on this 1-stop, as Hayden was out of shape there. We may be able to look at him into turn 4, not quite close enough there to outbrake him, and yeah, he's going to stay ahead for the time being, but we do seem to be a little bit quicker than him at this point, and obviously we could take advantage then of that off he's just had. And down into turn 8 then, we are actually going to have a look for it then into the hairpin, and through we go up the inside, and we are up then to now 14th position, but with our teammate also pitting. So yeah, we're on our way now then. Hopefully we can get into the points at some point then in this race, because yeah, we haven't really made much progress so far. I guess for sort of everyone on similar strategies, it's quite hard to do that, but yeah, there's actually been a contact then on lap 7 between Dralex and Melanie then, so look like there was a bit of damage on the McLaren, and yeah, well there certainly is now then, because they had another collision there, and Melanie's dropped back, so that's unfortunate for him there. And yeah, that moves us then to 13th position in this race, just behind now then the Haas, and it looks like KJ has gone through down as well on Melanie there. So on to lap 8 now then, and we get a great run then on Dralex with overtake, and up the inside we go, and we should have that one done then, up to 12th position now. But I imagine he'll be trying to come back at us now then, try and, you know, maybe do a bit of a switch back, as our teammate set the fast lap of the race there then, so he's coming through out the back of the field as we get offensive then towards turn 4, and we're going to cover the ascents our line then and try and just sort of block him from trying to do a switch back. So that's worked out for us quite well there, as we're heading now then through turn 6 and 7. There's been contact up in front of us then, Smithson and Verstappen I think, and I think there's more contact, and in fact LK's out of the race. I think Welty got taken out as well, and all sorts of carnage going on there as so I think Smithson rejoined onto the track and wiped out LK I think. And then the virtual safety car comes out, and I think that's Clone Troop off the road there, so I don't know what happened to him, but yeah, he's off. And then on lap 10 the VSE has gone back, well, was no longer out, but yeah, nice bit of desync there, as Dralex just drove straight into the back of us there, and then I was so distracted by that I outbraked myself, and let him through, and now KJ is probably going to go through as well then, so yeah, that's not really gone too well for us there, but we're still just about ahead then of the Red Bull into turn 4. We're going to try and outbrake him if we can, but it looks like, oh well, we just about managed to hang on to it then, as we did turn at the ERS there just to get the best drive we could out of that corner, and it looks like we've managed to maintain position, and we did cover the inside line there, but he goes for it anyway and pushes that wide again, and yeah, I think it's just be going up, cupping over and over again so far this season, but yeah, he's through then into 8th place. On to the next lap then, we're still in behind him, but then he just randomly spins off there, and yeah, there's a bit of a weird desync thing there going on. I smashed into the back of him, but obviously I didn't, so you know, great game. That was just, yeah, we're up to 5th then, as some people played on that lap, so yeah, obviously we're not going to stay in 5th place, but we are actually going to move up into lead then briefly, because all the other people in front of us pitted then a lap earlier than us. I just decided to stay out because, you know, that's just what it said, and yeah, I didn't really think that, you know, I had much to gain from like trying to undercut or, you know, cover and undercut for anyone else, so I decided to stick with what I was doing, and you know, hopefully with maybe a lap or two fresh and mediums at the end, that can work out in our favour. But we're going to see then where we come out. Hopefully, you know, somewhere around about the points, because we haven't been really there at any point so far. Well, we weren't like before the pit stops, but some people did get taken out and stuff, so hopefully we can stay in the points then. We're in 10th place as we come out now, and we're right in front of Dralex, so we're going to have to certainly defend here then to try and maintain his position, but yeah, we really haven't had the best run. But we'll turn up the ERS now then, because you do save quite a bit in the pits, so yeah, we'll do that. But yeah, we managed to cover the inside line, do we? Not really, because he's now going to switch back as we sort of outbrake ourselves and drift out wide, and he's going to go through then into 10th position. We got hung out a little bit there, so that's going to compromise the line for these next couple of corners, and now X Power is going to go around the outside then as well into 11th place, and through he goes then. And yeah, I don't think he raced in Australia, but yeah, he's here today then. I think I can't remember him racing, but yeah, maybe he did. I actually don't know, but yeah, nonetheless, then we do catch up to the back of him once again though, once our tyres have got up to temperature, so we'll see if we can pass him back here then down the pit straight. He does have DRS, but well, of course we do as well, and we're going to use overtake as well to try and overtake him here. LGS also pits there then for the second and final time in this race, as we're going to try and outbrake him running outside into the first corner, and it's so close. Once again, more wheel banging, and through we go then into 9th position, and yeah, through we go then. We'll see, you know, how long we stay there then, if we can gain more places in this race. So we've got about 9 laps to go now then, and we've got KJ coming up to the back of us then. He's still on the mediums, he's now over to the soft tyres, so yeah, you expect him to be a bit quicker than us at this point. And yeah, through he goes then. Does pretty much the exact same move that we just did on X Power, so yeah, through he goes then. We're going to try and turn up the ERS now then to try and maybe get him back into turn 4 here, but he covered the inside line. We're going to try and outbrake him, but yeah, there was never really much chance of getting him around the outside there. I don't think we could have really done a cut back either, so yeah, we lose that position then. But yeah, only a few corners later actually we have LGS captured to the back of us then, and yeah, no point sort of wasting time battling, and as he's on those soft tyres, may as well just let him go through there and try and attack those up in front of us for the time being. And yeah, actually nothing much happening for us unfortunately after that, as we get to the final lap, but this battle in front of us is all, you know, kicking off, and we were quite close to it at the end after not being that close to it, and Franglish actually loses the back end then with only a few corners to go, and that has moved us up then into the points positions. And LGS I think has managed to clear all these people, but yeah, I actually had a clean race and no penalties, so I was just hoping that, you know, I could maybe snatch a few positions here then. As out of the final corner, Apex gets pushed out wide, and we just get a snap of oversteer at the worst possible moment there, and that's going to mean that we can't pass Apex, but we do get a place on KJ then, who had a corner cutting penalty, so it is 9th place then. So I mean, not a great result, but we were out of the points for a lot of the race, and yeah, I mean, we were 4th in Australia before our points got taken off us, so that is a bit disappointing. But I mean, well, as we sort of saw at the start of the race, well, at the start of the video, you know, this isn't really like my best track in terms of, you know, previous results, so I guess yeah, it's not that big a deal. But you know, having had a good result in the first race and then lost it, it is a shame that we couldn't sort of make up for it here. But I mean, there's still plenty more chances throughout the rest of the season to have some more good races, and I don't think this was really one that I'd have marked as one that I'd get a strong result at. So I guess not really a big deal. But yeah, looking at the results, then it wasn't Jork who took the win. That was an error, I think. I was pretty sure it was Rosberg who took the win then from Jork, and then Fair was in third place. So well into those three then. And yeah, Rosberg, who didn't race in Australia, but yeah, it's got his season started well then here in Bahrain. And yeah, some points on the board as well then for LGS. So both of us finally getting some points on the board for real this time then. And yeah, we're finally putting up, well, finally putting some points on the board for the constructors. So that's good for us then. And yeah, that is it then for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next week for the Chinese Grand Prix. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.